So three things I'm going to discuss with you about ACCA F7, the syllabus, the exam structure, and how Vertex Learning can help you in passing this exam. So if I speak about the syllabus of ACCA F7, F7 has got the longest syllabus among all the first 9 papers. From F1 to F9, the longest syllabus is F7. But luckily, exam is not really very difficult. Exam is not very challenging. Most students, they do manage to pass it and even get very, high scores in F7 actually. Syllabus starts with, you guys have already done your F3. In ACCA F3, the focus was on bookkeeping. In F7, the focus is on financial reporting. When you were doing F3, you did not really learn the IFRS. You really did not, specifically learn what are the standards. Rather, you focus more on the bookkeeping principles. But in F7, you will learn individual standards like, you will learn about, for example, to start with PPE, which is called IS 16, tangible non-current asset, property, plant and equipment. Then you've got IS 38, intangible assets, IS 40, investment property, IS 2, inventories, and then you move on towards complex standards, IS 12, tax, and IS 16, and IFRS 9, and IFRS 15, and so on and so forth. So quite a lot of standards you will have. Plus you will have, consolidation, which is much more difficult than what you did in F3. And you will have interpretation of financial statements, very important part of syllabus, always an exam. And of course, it is again much more difficult than what you experienced in ACCA F3. And then you have single company financial statements and cash flow statements. So this is overall syllabus. I did not name all of the standards. I only named few of them, but there are many others as well. If I talk about the exam structure, F7 exam, it is a 3 hours exam. It is held 4 times in a year, like 4 sessions, March, June, September, and December. And 3 hours exam, and it has 3 sections. Your exam will have 3 sections. Number 1 is section A, in which you will have 15 MCQs of 2 marks each. Then you have section B, in which you will have again 3 questions of 10 marks each, and in each that 10-mark question you get 5 MCQs. So we call them OTQs. There is one scenario, and then related to that one scenario they give you 5 MCQs. Okay, so 15 questions, MCQs in section A, 2 marks each, 30 marks for section A. Then you've got 10, 10, and 10, 3 questions in section B. These are again MCQs, but related to one scenario. So 15 times 2 or 10 times 3, 3 questions, 10 marks each, 30 marks are here. So 30 plus 30, 60 marks are gone. Then you've got the last section, which is section C, and there you will have 2 questions of 20 marks each. And what comes in actually, now I will start with what usually you expect to appear in these sections. So I'll start with section C. In section C, where you have 2 long questions, generally these questions, they appear from, mostly one question is interpretation of financial statements, which is usually challenging question. The second question could come from consolidation, or it could come from a single company financial statement. Okay, maybe single company income statement, balance sheet they will give you, or probably even the cash flow statement they can give. So this is section C. If you talk about section A and B, you will be dealt with individual standards. For example, if I speak about section A, where I have 15 MCQs, I expect 1 or 2 MCQs coming in from taxes, 1 or 2 from leasing, 1 question or 2 questions from financial instruments, IFRS 9, 1 question from, intangible assets, 2 questions from property, plant, equipment, etc. So those are mixed up. You literally cannot avoid anything actually, because examiner has got an option of giving 15 questions in one section, 15 questions in one section, and then 2 long questions. In each long question, there are multiple requirements. So you cannot, skip any part of the syllabus. Almost everything is tested in exam. Almost everything is tested. So this is about the exam. Of course, pass marks are 50 marks. You know that. Coming back to what Vertex can give you, and then what are the preparation strategy, which areas you should be focusing on. So if you go back to Vertex website, you will see that we have detailed lectures, very detailed lectures for complete syllabus coverage. We have got quite a lot of videos for past exam question videos and practice kit videos. You will find short summaries for each standard, for each topic. You will find online quizzes for every single chapter. And then what is very important, we provide you with your study plan, the study plan, which is, how to say, day by day plan. Okay, on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, what you should, which lecture video you should watch, which pages you should read from the study text, which MCQ video you should watch, and which MCQs you should do yourself. So a detailed study plan is given there. That is very helpful, by the way, because it saves you from the last 10 days pressure. Otherwise, what happens that, when only 2 weeks are left, then students, they start realizing that they have got a lot of work left out, and they get panicked and they get stressed. So that is very important. And on the top of everything, what is very important, which I feel, is tutor support, because there are many areas where you always need support. Even if you are doing self-study, even if my lectures are very much detailed, whatever detailed lecture I make, I know that it is not possible that students, sometimes they do not have questions. They do have questions. Even if they understand something, sometimes they need to ask that, please correct me if I understood it correctly or not. So they need confirmation. They just want to make sure. So that brings them confidence. So tutor support is very important, and active tutor support is available. That is actually what is there. Now, if I want to discuss with you how to, what is the strategy for passing this thing. The strategy is actually what make students, they make mistake. They keep on reading the book, or they keep on watching the videos. They watch my lecture videos as well, but they do not practice themselves. They think that they can do practice in the end, which is not good. So this is your first mistake. So what you should be doing, you should watch the video, read the study text, watch the video where I've done questions, and then do questions by yourself before you move to the next standard. You make sure that if you are doing leasing, you understand leasing to the fullest. Whatever content is available for leasing, you have gone through that, you have read the book, you have done the practice kit, then you move to the next standard. So this is very important. Otherwise, you will mix up things, okay? You will leave a lot of gaps which you need to fill in the end, which is not a good strategy. The second thing which students, they make mistake, that while doing the questions, they do not put a counter, or they do not manage their time. They are relaxed at home, they are doing it at their leisure. So you are taking 5 minutes or 7 minutes in doing one MCQ. In exam, you've got only 4 minutes for one MCQ. So when you go to exam, you cannot pick up the pace, because you have never practiced, how to do it fast. You can do it, but you can do it slow. You can do it, but you know how to do it in 6 minutes. Whereas in exam, it requires you to do it in 4 minutes. And then what happens? You come out of the exam, and then you say that the time was not enough. You start complaining that exam was long. Exam was not long. You were taking more time. So this is the second thing. When you practice, you make sure that you are paying attention how much time you are giving. This was a second issue with the students, I would say. And last of all, you know that your exam is a computer-based exam. I have seen many times that when students, they know quite well, but they have done practice on the notebook, or they have done it by hand. This is absolutely not good. You might be doing it in the first 1 month, but I suggest that for at least last 4 weeks or 6 weeks, minimum 6 weeks, you should move to the computer and start doing questions on Excel, start writing your answers on Microsoft Word, because your speed will be very much affected. And you will get panic, you will get stressed out, because you know how to do it, but you cannot do it fast, and time is running out. And when the timer starts clicking 10, 9, 8, 7, pressure starts building up. So that is very important, that you should be very good in typing. You should be very good in using Microsoft Excel. You don't have to learn advanced functions of Excel, very basic functions, but you know how to use it. You should be using it plus, minus, or divide or multiply type of things. So you are not actually using Excel in exam, but there is a tool, there's a software which is very much similar to Microsoft Excel. So make sure that you are very good in that. So this is one thing which you should not be making a mistake. And last of all, please, before you go to exam, you should be taking minimum 2 mock exams. full-scale mock exams where you close the door, you do not allow anyone to disturb you, you keep a watch, you take 3 hours, and you see if you can do the one last past exam paper or not, or maybe a mock exam or not, because this will exactly tell you where you are. So it's not that you, when you go to exam, you are seeing it for the first time. If you take one mock exam, you take second mock exam, and then third day you are walking to the exam room, and then it is just like the same thing which you have done 2 times before. There is a lot of confidence difference. It comes up, you know, because when you do 3 hours exam, it also develops your stamina, because otherwise I know that it's a long exam. In an hour and a half, most of the students, they get, you know, all of the energy is drained out. They start feeling low in energy and they cannot concentrate, they cannot focus. So you have to develop that your capacity or your stamina to spend 2 hours or 3 hours of, you know, uninterrupted concentration. That is very important also, because otherwise you will be fatigued in exam. So please do practice mock exams as well. That is all what I can say. Now, when you join Vertex, we add you to the WhatsApp group, we add you to the Telegram groups, you get all of the content, you get, you know, how to say the study plan. You follow the study plan as per day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. And if you follow the plan, I'm very much sure that you will not only pass exam, but you will score really high. You will score really good. Now, of course, what is good? It is a very subjective thing. We all have different efforts we put in, and according to those efforts, we get results. But definitely you would score well.